National Broadcasting Company presents Radio City Playhouse, Attraction 17. Here is your director and host on Radio City Playhouse, Harry W. Junkin.
Thank you, Bob Warren. Ladies and gentlemen, all week long, letters have been pouring in congratulating us on last week's broadcast and thanking John Larkin for his magnificent performance as Lloyd Bruckner. It's impossible for me to tell you how much these letters mean to us, but on behalf of John Larkin, on behalf of the rest of the Playhouse staff, on behalf of Dick McDonough, our supervisor, on behalf of Monroe Lawrence, our brilliant young engineer, and Jerry McGee, our invaluable sound man, a very sincere thanks for writing. Tonight, we change our pace and offer you a comedy. The script was written by Ernest Kenoy and is this outstanding young author's fourth contribution to the series. It is called Temporarily Purple and stars Ann Petoniak and Lamont Johnson. Here is Radio City Playhouse, Attraction 17, Temporarily Purple, by Ernest Kenoy.
High above Midtown New York, the Center Building towers into the air. On the 48th floor, high above the street, are the offices of the Porpoise Press, Herb Barrett, president. The nap on the carpet is ankle deep. The chromium furniture sits around the office like small metallic spider webs, and a deep dream of peace pervades the reception room. But in the inner offices...
No, I don't care.
I say absolutely no. My resignation will be in as soon as I fill my fountain pen.
At the risk of a double negative, no, not never.
No.
Gentlemen, there's no use losing our tempers.
But after all, Mr. Barrett, Porpoise Press has a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, I know. Reputation, but not much else, gentlemen. For a month, I've looked at enough red ink to fill every thermometer between here and Seattle. This company is not only short of funds, bankrupt, deficient in credit, but also flat broke on its face. We haven't made a profit since we pirated an edition of McKinley's memoirs.
But we have published the most important books in American literary history.
Yeah.
Clifton Fadiman said so himself.
York University awarded us this year's scroll for the best volume of post-expressionist, non-objective, neo-Paleolithic poetry.
Unfortunately,
Yes,
unfortunately, Mr. Perks, we can't list scrolls under cash assets. Now, the trouble with Porpoise Press is that it just isn't printing what the public wants to read. Just look at our spring list.
Well.
Through the upper Zambezi River with gun and camera.
Why, that was excellent.
Yes. A revised list of Colonel George Custer's executive officers in the campaign of 1860.
And 69.
The life and mating cycle of the Australian duck-billed platypus.
Brilliant work, that. Charming
Yes, it was.
photograph.
Weren't they?
Oh, but don't you see, nobody wants to read it, gentlemen. What we need are adventure stories, blood and thunder, cloak and dagger, dollars and cents. The public wants historical novels with romance, beautiful women with plunging necklines, swashbuckling swordsmen, murder, intrigue.
But that is trash.
Yes, well, we better start publishing some. Of the finance company's going to be around to repossess the rugs. We've got to publish a bestseller in the next month, or we'll all be on unemployment insurance.
But we haven't had a popular novel on our list since Harriet Beecher Stowe.
Well, then we'll have to make a bestseller, gentlemen. Where's that manuscript that came in last week?
This one?
Yeah.
Social Customs and Traditions of the French Court under Louis Philippe.
A scholarly work. Excellent research.
Exactly.
Wasn't it? Excellent.
Now, listen, gentlemen, in this manuscript, we've got every detail on one of history's wildest periods. Now, we're going to take this, and we're going to make it into the roughest, raciest, wildest novel to hit the bookstand.
What?
What's that?
But the author? After all, you can't...
Don't you worry about the author. We've got him signed up to one of our regular contracts. He has to accept all editing. The author can't kick. Got his name right here on the dotted line. You see his signature. It's Michael Farrell, York University, Billers Creek, New York.
What's the writing? Who's going to...
I am, gentlemen. Get me 3 stenographers and I'll have it done in a week. Temporarily Purple.
What's that?
That's the title. Yeah, that's all I've got so far, but it'll sell 1 million copies. With the right picture on the cover of 5 million. Now bring on those stenographers.
Ready, Mr. Barrett?
Okay. Chapter 1. In a small hut on the outskirts of Versailles, where the sweep of a dying French feudalism splashed vivid colors against the ruins of a recent revolution, there lived a girl whose dark purple beauty flashed amid the green fields. Francois, she said, panting with emotion. Louis suspects. Purple, he said, brushing her scruples aside, his dark brows flashing. I love you. Their lips met in a passionate kiss. She felt her soul melt within her. Deep purple flashes swam before her eyes, and her senses reeled. Row of asterisks. Suddenly the door burst open and Louis stood, rapier in hand. Turn, sir, or you die. Swords rang in the flickering No. Make that swords clashed in the flickering candlelight. And, somebody give me some black coffee, will you? Oh, where was I? The ring of steel filled the Parisian night. Purple's ruffles were stained with a slow, creeping crimson. And no sugar in that coffee, fellas. Then, sweeping down the grand staircase, Purple smiled at the populace and waved her hand. Come, my dear, said Louis. The people await their queen. It's finished. 6 days, 3 hours, a masterpiece. Temporarily Purple by Michael Farrell. Somebody get me a bed, huh? Oh.
This is absolutely the most fantastic...
All right, gentlemen. Order, please, gentlemen. I've got the sales reports in for Temporarily Purple.
Wonderful.
Take a listen. New York, 500,000. Hear that? Chicago, 400,000. Los Angeles, 350,000. Boston, 1.
1?
Yeah, the Vice Squad bought a copy. They're having it banned. We're all set.
I still don't feel right about it.
Oh, relax. Will you? Hollywood offered $500,000 for it.
But the author...
That's right, the author, Michael Farrell. He doesn't know it, but he's written the biggest thing in publishing since Uncle Tom's Cabin. When he gets a load of his royalty check, Michael Farrell's going to be plenty glad his manuscript went to the Porpoise Press.
Where is he?
Hey.
Where is he? I just want to get my hands
Hey,
on
here
him.
now, wait.
I'll scalp him, so help me. I'll eviscerate
I beg
him.
your pardon, young lady. We're having a conference here.
This is the Porpoise Press.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Mr. Herbert Barrett.
I'm Mr. Barrett.
You're sure you're Barrett?
Certainly.
Well, that's just fine.
Hey, what?
I'm Michael Farrell.
Oh, well, this check is... Huh? But you're a girl. You can't...
I can, and I am. And here's your check in fine, delicate, infinitesimal pieces. How dare you? How dare you? I turned in a careful piece of research on Louis Philippe, and you turn it into a cheap, trashy, Oh! If I hadn't signed that contract, I'd sue you for everything right down to your
Please,
garters.
Miss Farrell, can't we talk this over? Perhaps a drink.
The only drink I'd have in your presence, Mr. Barrett, would be at a wake with you as guest of honor.
After all, I only changed it a little.
A little? A little? Why, the only thing left of mine was the date of Louis Philippe's birth. And you even changed that from Sunday to Wednesday.
Well...
Oh, I'd horsewhip you, but father sold the buggy.
After all, Mrs. Farrell, it was only a slight...
Don't you give me any more of your slick alibis. There's only one more thing before I go.
Yes?
Just this.
Gentlemen, the author.
Remarkable left jab. Remarkable.
Yes, wasn't it?
Gentlemen, we're in a jam. You know, she can't sue us, but if the papers find out that we faked that book, there's going to be plenty of trouble.
And besides, she destroyed a Porpoise Press check. Why, we've been insulted.
You're right. Porpoise honor is compromised.
We've been definitely sullied.
Not to mention the assault on the president.
Indeed, yes.
Oh, if she ever spills that story to the press, Clifton Fadiman's going to laugh us clean out of the Algonquin bar.
And Simon will whisper to Schuster.
We'll be drummed out of the Book of the Month Club.
Horrors.
Gentlemen, we've got to get busy. Where's that address? Here it is. Michael Farrell, York University, Billers Creek, New York. Gentlemen, pack your bags. The Porpoise Press is on the march. I beg your pardon, sir. Can you tell me where I should...
For heaven's sake, young man, this is the library of the York University.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was told I could find a Miss Michael Farrell doing some research here.
There has to be perfect quiet, you know.
I wonder if
everybody shouted, there'd never be any work done.
I know,
but deathly hush, you know.
I'm looking for Miss
Why,
Michael.
if everybody talked, there'd be chaos. Just chaos.
Chaos, yeah. Look, could you tell me where...
That's why we insist upon complete silence.
Look, I want Miss Michael Farrell.
Up. That's certainly nothing to shout about. She's right over there by the catalog.
Thanks.
Remember now, there's absolutely no reason for any commotion. Shh.
Miss Farrell?
Yes. Oh, it's you. What do you mean by following me?
Not so loud. This is a library. A deathly hush, you know.
Haven't you done enough? What's the idea of coming up here? I've got an academic reputation to uphold. Why, I ought to slap you right
Not again. I had enough of that yesterday. Hey, look, has anybody ever told you pack a mighty wallop for an antiquarian? Like Samson, you know.
I hope it broke your jawbone.
Oh, sure. Samson and the jawbone of an... Hey.
Exactly.
Miss Farrell, a little quiet, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Strange women call me up to accuse me of contributing to juvenile delinquency. Every day somebody asks if Purple was autobiographical.
Yeah, well...
And a man rode on a bicycle all the way from Nahoma Falls, Michigan, to propose marriage to me. He's got me confused with Purple. And those newspaper reporters, they keep bothering me to pose in tight dresses on windy hills.
Oh, but you haven't talked to him yet. You haven't told him anything.
No, I
Good.
haven't.
Come on, let's go, huh?
Go? What are you talking about? Go where?
I'm taking you to dinner.
What? Well, that's the last straw, you egotistical, self-centered...
Miss Farrell, I have warned you twice. We simply cannot have noise in the library. I would not stand for it.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wilson.
Up. No excuses. I have taken all that mortal man possibly can stand. Now, you will have to leave.
But this man...
I insist upon perfect silence in the library. Besides, you've got me positively feverish with all this arguing. Come on, I'll see you out. And I don't ever want to see you skulking in the library again. Don't let me catch you even sneaking around the magazine rack.
But I
Miss
didn't...
Farrell, so far as the library is concerned, you have a vicious, communicable, tropical plague. Oh. Goodbye.
Oh, now, for heaven's sake, don't start crying.
Oh, now I won't be able to finish all those lovely Middle English manuscripts with the only complete cross index outside of the British Museum.
Oh, Miss Farrell, I'm sorry.
And it's all your fault. You with your cheap novel and that horrid heroine.
Oh, she...
What a stupid name for a character. Purple.
What's wrong? At least it's got color. Anyway, I kind of like purple. Here, take my handkerchief.
Thank you.
You know, that red hair, she even reminds me of you.
Oh,
look, Miss Farrell. Michael? Mike?
Mickey.
Mickey. Yeah, I'm really sorry about this, but it isn't as bad as all that. The Porpoise Press has a lot of influence with libraries. I'll get that straightened out for you if I have to endow a whole wing of Etruscan poetry.
Do you think you can?
Endow a wing? No. As a matter of fact, all my money's tied up in temporarily purple, and the sales receipts haven't come in yet. I owe everybody. Even my analyst. If I miss one more payment, he'll have the finance company repossess my psyche.
Oh, you're silly. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, but it stops you from crying. Hey, look, what do you say we go riding somewhere?
I should say not.
Got my car down the block. Maybe with the wind blowing in your face, we can talk this whole thing over sensibly?
I think you're forgetting, Mr. Barrett, that I despise you and everything connected with you.
I know, but tell me about it in the car.
I will not. I wouldn't go riding in your car for all the money in the world.
Honestly, Mickey, I feel like a heel about the whole thing.
You do?
I mean, the trouble about the book and you're being thrown out of the library and all.
Well, I guess you were just trying to do your job. But it really is so exasperating.
You know, you're very pretty when you're mad.
Well, are you trying to say that you deliberately annoy me just for that, on aesthetic grounds?
No, not exactly. It's just that blasted coincidence.
Something new?
No, I mean my making up the most fascinating, dangerous, irresistible woman I could think of, purple, and then you turn out to look just like her, red hair and all.
Ugh.
What's wrong?
Red and purple. They clash.
Yeah, but you do look like her.
Oh, I do not.
Well, you do have a loose turtleneck sweater on, but outside of that, the image is spitting.
You have a charming way of putting things, but I'm not in the least amused.
Yeah, I know. Don't mind it. It's just intellectual patter. I learned it as a child, teething on a bar stool at the store.
Oh, you're crazy.
It's neurotic. You know, I think the Porpoise Press Board of Directors is going to stay in Biller's Creek a long time.
For heaven's sakes, why?
Well, I can take you out to dinner every night.
Every night?
Oh, don't worry. I'll put it down on the expense account.
But, Mr. Barrett, you can't spend all week at Biller's Creek and just come down to New York on weekends.
Mr. Fuddy and I are at a loss. We've never published anything like Temporarily Purple before.
No one ever has.
Take it
quite
easy,
correct.
boys. Everything's all right. It'll be about one more week. You just keep busy on your publicity campaigns and the...
Yes. I've had a wonderful idea. Why not have Miss Farrell marry 5 orchestra leaders in rapid succession? It's the very latest thing for lady authors.
They invariably make the first page after the second divorce.
No, that'll take too long. I'm working on a much bigger project.
I hope there's no risk involved. Sometimes I wish we were back publishing McKinley's memoirs.
So do I, Fuddy.
Don't worry, Fuddy. You know perfectly well that everything I do is bound to be absolutely safe.
I really hate to bring it up, but don't you think driving with one hand is just a little dangerous?
Guess so. Yeah, there's only one answer.
Let go of me?
Oh. Stop driving. It's been fast, hasn't it, Mickey?
It certainly has.
That's what I don't like about us.
What do you mean?
Patterns, just like a Saturday Evening Post story. We meet cute. That's the first step. We fight. Second step. We make up. Third. We fall in love.
Herb!
Fourth. And we get married the end.
But Herb! Is that by some stretch of the imagination a proposal?
I guess you could call it that.
You certainly do put things oddly. Well, I suppose it would be a shame to spoil your storyline, so I think...
Is that by the same stretch of the imagination an acceptance?
A two-way stretch.
Oh, no. I withdraw my proposal.
All right. I won't do it again, really. Now, there's only one question. When?
Well, let's see. It can't be this week. I'm all jammed up with literary cocktail parties.
Temporarily Purple?
That's right. Can't be the Sunday after I'm on The Author Meets the Critic. That's going to be a tough broadcast. We're at a disadvantage. They'll have read the book. Monday, I'm on with Mary Margaret McBride. Tuesday, you're going to be on Tex and Jinx.
Me? Oh, no, I'm not.
What's the matter? What have you got against Tex and Jinx?
Nothing. For all I know, they're a fine couple, but I'm not going on the radio with them, and that's final. I'm not going on the radio for anyone.
What are you getting so excited about, honey? It's only publicity.
That's it. Herb Barrett, I will not live my married life inside a fishbowl. Now, if there's to be any of your wild press agent stunts, you can call the whole thing off right now. And I'll tell the newspapers all about Temporarily Purple.
Oh, Mickey, you wouldn't.
I would so. I'm pig-headed.
Well, look, I'm sure we can iron it all out. You don't have to worry about a thing.
No publicity?
No publicity. No.
You promise?
I promise.
To the future Mrs. Barrett.
In sickness and in health.
Till death do us part.
Why, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. And I'm sure the four of us will be very happy together.
And will you be taking a honeymoon, Miss Farrell?
Oh, yes, but we're not sure where, are we, Herb?
No, not yet. No.
But Herb and I have a great many plans.
Ah, yes, Mr. Barrett's plans. He was telling me about them this morning.
No, Perks, not
He's
those.
got the whole publicity campaign worked out, you
Perks,
know.
not now,
Publicity
please.
plans?
Well, yes.
Well, do go on, Mr. Perry.
Pay no attention to them, honey. This promotion for Porpoise Press, that's all. Means absolutely nothing.
Well, I'm not so sure.
No.
Go on, Mr. Perks. You interest me strangely.
Here we go again.
Well, the plans are remarkable. They will make you the sensation of the literary world.
Oh, I see. Anything else?
Mr. Barrett wants a picture of you in a Wedgwood sarong on the back cover of every copy.
Wedgwood?
In historical period, you know.
We'll have hats named after you.
The Mickey Farrell cloche, the only hat that tells time.
No.
Cocktails named after you.
The Mickey Farrell fin.
Go on. Go on.
We arranged to have you voted by the Columbia Senior Class as the girl I like most to stand next to on the Van Cortlandt Express train.
Oh, yes. How utterly charming.
Why, it'll be the greatest personal publicity campaign since Barnum built up Jenny Lind.
And it's all Mr. Barrett's idea.
Yes, it is.
It's all Mr. Barrett's idea.
Down to the last exciting photograph.
Oh, they weren't so exciting.
Herb Barrett, Oh!
Something wrong?
You promised. You promised we'd have privacy, that we'd live a normal married life. And then behind my back, with the wool pulled over my eyes, you stab a knife in my heart.
Your metaphor's showing, honey.
Now, don't you try to get me to laugh, because I won't do it. Herb Barrett, you are an unprincipled, unmitigated, unethical monster. And I'm through with you, you intellectual amoeba.
How the devil did amoebas get into this? For heaven's sake, Mickey, I'm a man and you're a woman.
Exactly. We have nothing in common.
Look, Mickey, you don't realize that even the best things today have to be publicized and promoted. Authors like Hemingway, Thomas Mann, Huxley, T.S. Eliot. Why, without publicity, no one would read them at all.
That's right, Miss Farrell. Why, we even had to publicize McKinley's memoirs.
I still don't see why
even the great masters of the past are read more often than ever before because of modern promotion methods, honey. Even Shakespeare, if he were alive today without publicity, he'd end up writing toothpaste ads. Mozart would be composing soap jingles.
Positively.
You see, Mickey? Well, honey, is it on again?
Well, all right, I guess so. But honestly, Herb, sometimes...
Hold that, will you, Mr. Barrett?
What?
Hold that pose. Steady. Thank you. Say, when is the wedding?
Don't you read your own paper? Come on, Mickey. It's tomorrow morning, and it's going to be the biggest wedding in publishing history.
Congratulations.
Why, what's the matter, Mr. Perk?
He always cries at weddings.
Have you got the train tickets for me, buddy?
Oh, yes, they're all here.
Look this way, Mr. Barrett. Television cameras. Hey, kiss her now. That's right.
That's all, boys. We'll have to go. We're going to miss our train.
Just one more.
Come on, Mickey. We're going to miss our train, fellas. So glad that's over. I was never so glad to see a train in all my life. Just gonna set the bags down. Porter can put them away when he makes up the berth.
And when do we leave?
About 10 minutes.
Oh, it was a lovely wedding, darling. But couldn't it have been, more private?
Look, honey, that wedding's gonna sell 100,000 copies of Purple.
That's all I wanted to know.
Gee, it is good to be alone. You know, honey, I don't know quite what to say now.
Oh, you never really told me that you love me.
I didn't? Well, I guess it's a little late now. Huh?
Oh, no, Herb, please tell me, won't you? Please.
How about that poem? How do I love thee? Let me count the ways.
Oh, that's lovely, Herb.
I love thee to the breadth and height my soul can reach. Say, do you hear something humming?
Humming? Oh, no. Must be the air conditioning. Go on, Herb. That's beautiful.
I mean it, too, Mickey. Every word of it.
Oh, kiss me, darling. Wildly, passionately, like Purple.
Oh, sure, honey. I'll kiss you the way no woman was ever kissed before. Come here.
Oh, Herb.
Hey, Mickey, that humming comes from the next drawing room.
No, Herb, no. I'm sure
there's a hole in that door. I'll be...
All right, Mr. Barrett, we're finished with the motion pictures. Ready for the stills
movie
now?
camera. What's all... What the devil's going on? Who are these people?
We're all from Life magazine, Mr. Barrett.
Life magazine?
Shall we set up the lights?
That's right, dear. You were so convincing about publicity that I arranged to have Life go on a honeymoon.
You arranged for...
Yes, dear. They've got everything down on film.
Oh, you mean you led me... You trapped me with sonnets and the great love... Oh, Lord.
Smile, Mr. Barrett. A little wider.
Outside, all of you. Beat it. Blow, will you?
But our contract, Mrs. Barrett
You
said...
can go on her half of the honeymoon, not mine. Now, outside.
Mr. Luce won't like this.
Oh, Mickey, how could you? Dragging our honeymoon in the dust with all those profaning. Haven't you got any respect for our marriage? Planning a sound camera, reporters. It's infamous. It's
publicity.
No, I still think you... Guess you taught me a lesson, huh? Yeah, I guess you can have too much publicity. Oh, Mickey, will you forgive me, honey?
Oh, of course, darling. And you were a good sport about it.
Me?
Too. I wouldn't think of really having Life along for our honeymoon.
If I were sure of that, I'd kiss you right now.
Oh, you don't have to worry. No more publicity on this honeymoon. No one will interrupt us now.
Well, then come here. Well, what do you want?
Where shall I set up the camera for the pictures of Mr. Barrett in his pajamas? They're all set for Life's cover in full color.
Oh, no. No.
You have just heard Temporarily Purple by Ernest Kenoy, Attraction 17 on Radio City Playhouse. Lamont Johnson was Herb Barrett, and Petoniak, Mickey Farrell. Other members of the cast included Bill Keane, Cameron Andrews, and Arthur Cole. The entire production was under the direction of Harry W. Junkin. The music was composed and conducted by Dr. Roy Shield. Radio City Playhouse is supervised for the National Broadcasting Company by Richard P. McDonough.
This is Harry Junkin again. Next week, a gripping and dramatic story of the strange friendship that occurred between a writer and a young man found guilty of murder. The script is 5 Extra Nooses by Charles Lee Hutchings. We think you'll enjoy it, and we hope you'll be with us. Good night, everybody.
This program came to you from our Radio City studios in New York. Robert Warren speaking. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.